Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I am here to bring you a manga chapter review of Taizai, chapter 103. Okay, so did anyone see that cover of this chapter? We saw a glimpse of Escanor. We saw a glimpse of Escanor on that cover page of this chapter. Now, I went back to check the images once again. I checked the images of the Fury crafting I did yesterday, and I went back to the actual wanted poster. Looking at the two images, the beards look similar, but the overall top part of the hairstyle is definitely not similar compared to the new Escanor picture we just got received. I'm assuming that picture that we just got in the cover page of this chapter was Escanor. I'm just gonna say it right now, because the way the hairstyle was, and the way the beard was, it looks like Escanor on the wanted poster. But, I don't know if that is the actual real appearance or not, but for a glimpse of this mysterious character to be on the cover, it seems like that article is proving to be true. We will be seeing Escanor very soon in this upcoming arc. The main question is he good, is he evil, and will he play along with my overall theories I have with Merlin? Now, with this chapter pretty much is the standard festival of an ending of the arc. That's pretty much what this chapter was. I mean, it's like something you would see in a normal arc ending chapter. Like, you know, how everybody usually gets drunk, or they have a party, have fun. That's pretty much what this chapter was. You get to see all the characters come in this chapter, showing their new attire. Now, that's something I was actually shocked about. All the characters got new attire, new outfits, and I'm like, holy shit. When I first read this chapter, I thought there was missing pages or something, because it felt like time has passed since last chapter, but clearly I'm guessing not. Now, I just want to start off and say this real quick. I noticed that character in the chapter. Probably everybody knows by now if you looked at the chapter, Hauser. He's alive. The fuck? How is he alive? That's the question I want to get into real quick. How is Hauser alive? We saw him get a gaping ass hole in him. You see the bandages on him. You clearly see the bandages on him. So, did Elizabeth's power work on him before he died? Because, I mean, technically that's the only way I could say how he could live. I mean, her powers revealed that they can't save the dead, but if the person is still somewhat alive, they can be saved by Elizabeth's power. So, was he still alive at the time, and is that the reason why he's still alive? Or is there something else going on here? Because Hauser is clearly fucking alive in this chapter. I'm like, what the freaking hell? And then, I was just, yeah. Grimoire also, he's with Veronica in this chapter. You see Grimoire and Veronica, they also are together in this chapter. And everybody pretty much has a little bit of an appearance in this chapter. Like, all the important characters that's been from the very start has a little bit of an appearance in this chapter. And it felt like it was really setting up something very dark for the upcoming arc. I want to get into this real quick. Okay. At the end of this chapter, Bon leaves. He's going onward. He's leaving the 7 Deadly Sins. As he said in the last chapter, he said he was quitting the 7 Deadly Sins. Well, with this chapter, Bon sets off on a new journey, a new arc. Hopefully, I want to be honest here, hopefully this upcoming arc that we're probably getting into, because it clearly states at the ending of this chapter that we're getting into a new arc, hopefully this upcoming arc is actually a Bon-focused arc, because the next chapter says, like, the Return of the Fairy King, if I'm correct. That's the actual title of the next chapter, chapter 104 for next week. And so, clearly, we're going to be getting to see Bon next week, going to the fairy forest, like where the fairies used to live. And so that brings up a lot of questions with this chapter of Taizai. Bon is going to the forest that was burnt down by the Red Demon. His lover died. Elaine died there. And he's going to this forest, supposedly seeking answers. Why? Why is he going there? Is he trying to go there to maybe find her body and try to resurrect her? Is he going to try to find more answers? What is Bond really trying to accomplish going there? Does it have something to do with that pillar that spoke to Bond about Meliodas, to kill Meliodas? Does it have something to do with that? That's another thing we have to bring up. I mean, it could also have something to do with that overall element. Maybe, since technically the Goddess Clan could probably resurrect her, maybe he's trying to find another way to bring her back to life. And then another thing is, I wonder exactly what King is going to do about this, because at the end of this chapter, you can tell he's very shocked. His face just looks shocked, because he's going to the fairies' forest that got burnt down and Elaine tried to protect, and, she died doing it. I mean, he seemed incredibly shocked for what he was doing. So we'll have to see exactly where that goes in the next week's chapter. But let's talk about the other elements of this week's chapter of Taizai. More things are adding up even more to my Merlin fury. As I said last week, when my fury with Merlin, and a bunch of us Chibits have also been talking about it, Merlin is very suspicious. And in this chapter, once again, more suspicion falls upon Merlin. Okay, let's dive into this. Merlin makes Diane clothing. Makes her an outfit to wear. At first glance, it looks like a happy-go-lucky thing, okay? I mean, everybody has new attire, you wouldn't think much of it. I mean, Meliodas has got new attire, you have to wear Bond has new attire at the end of the chapter, you have to wear King is wearing his, best friend's helmet after, you have to kill him a couple times. You have to wear Diane's wearing a new outfit. Only person that's really not wearing a new outfit is Merlin, actually. Merlin's the only one that's technically not wearing anything new. I guess it's because Merlin really hasn't been in the big picture for a long time. It's not really needed for an outfit change, but all the Sins pretty much got a makeover. That's pretty much what happened in this chapter, and I think the overall disguise of that is just hiding what Merlin actually did, if my theories once again prove true. What happened a couple chapters back? What did we find out about when it came to Merlin and Galther? Merlin made Galther his armor. Okay. What did Merlin make in this chapter? Supposedly Diane's outfit. She made that outfit. Now, there's some interesting dialogue in this chapter. It could be a translation error, or it could actually be a subtle hint. Because it was really weird the way the dialogue was. Diane states to Merlin, when we see her new attire, she says that, like, oh yeah, I chose this one out of the 2 options you gave me. 2 options you gave me. And all of a sudden, Merlin says in the next panel, like, oh no, there was only 1 option. I never gave you a choice. What the fuck is with that dialogue? I mean, seriously, is that translation error? Am I not understanding it properly? Because there's something really weird there. Very, very weird. Like, Diane says she had 2 options to choose from clothing, but then Merlin says none. Like, she had none to choose from. She only had that 1. I mean, it doesn't seem like much, but it adds up more along the lines of my Merlin theory, because Merlin, as I said, is probably manipulating people because of Galther. Like, this freaking chapter, we find out what Galther did to Agira. We find out he has a lover. Galther has a lover. Supposedly. So, once again, proves the theories that me and the Chibits have made. That armor probably suppressed Galther's lust. That's probably what it did. And for this armor to be able to have probably magical attributes to suppress lust, probably, or emotions, what's to say that Merlin didn't add something into that outfit to probably make something go on with Diane? Nothing can say, honestly. So, very, very strange how this chapter slightly hints at little things, trying to hide it with the overall joy, the fireworks, and happiness of the arc ending. It tries to hide these dark little hints and subtle hints that, once again, seems very suspicious on Galther and Merlin's part. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but was I the only one smiling a little bit when I saw that panel when you saw Gil Thunder and Margaret have, like, a kissing scene? I was like, dude, that is sweet. That's really sweet. I'm so glad Gil Thunder is happy. He's been under so much freaking hell since the very beginning of this series after having to betray his best friend, having to betray Meliodas to try to kill him because he is protecting Margaret. It is just so awesome how he managed to get with the person he actually cares for in this chapter when you see that kissing scene. That was beautiful. So, I guess this is going to conclude this chapter of Taizai this week. That's pretty much all that happened this chapter, and I pretty much covered all my theories I really need to cover, besides Escanor. Since I technically covered Escanor yesterday, I really don't need to get into my theories with Escanor. So, overall, to conclude this, if you don't know and if you did not watch my theory crafting video I made yesterday, pretty much I am assuming, and a bunch of his Chibits are assuming, that Escanor is a vampire. So, yeah, I want to conclude this review here. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.